Welcome to Puzzle with Emilia, that's me, and I have arrived back home to Finland from Valladolid, the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championship, and this is going to be my brutally honest recap video. I took some clips while I was in Valladolid trying to kind of capture my feelings. Didn't do too good a job with that, especially after the last days. I was completely exhausted. And then some opinions over here. Vili has opinions as usual. I was able to bring all the puzzles back. Like, this is crazy, but I've been like stacking like multiple puzzles inside one thing. I think this has like, I don't know how can I show this. It has like one big puzzle, then there's one puzzle on the side. Oh my god, there's so much I want to show you. I don't even know, I'm gonna mix all these by accident. Oh, and this one. This I got as a gift from Alice, who's the youth champion, and her parents. This is so cute, I'm so happy. This was the best thing I got. I'm so happy. Maybe I will even do it while I'm telling you all my opinions, but I think we're just gonna start also with the clips from Valladolid, what was happening, go through the whole extravaganza and everything. Hello.
Hi.
We already arrived in Valladolid. We were traveling on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
But it's already Tuesday, we just forgot to film stuff. We're on our way to the opening ceremony. We already seen a lot of puzzle people here.
Yeah, it's been really great.
We actually got kicked out from the puzzle exhibition in the tourist office yesterday for being too loud, which I find a very big achievement as a quiet Finnish person. And I think I'm gonna make sure Schuler or a scapegoat, because you know those loud Americans know we were quite all loud. But it was funny to me because, I'm sorry, but Spanish people are a little bit dramatic and loud themselves, so I was like, no? That's not a possibility. And then also walking barefoot in the streets of Valladolid. Checked. Took the wrong kind of shoes. Had to take them out. No other chance. What else we actually doing here? Daniel, what we've been doing?
We went to the tourist thingy, you already said. And we've just been traveling around. I went to the rock climbing.
That's true.
Which
You
is
walk
in the middle. Yeah, it was 5 kilometers away.
I love it how it doesn't blur, it blurs either one's face.
Yeah, I don't know. But it was in the middle of nowhere, and it was really great one. Yeah.
And what else I've been doing? We went to look for the spirit animal, the bird that I showed you a picture on my prediction video. We didn't find that one, but we found someone else, and I was like, okay, it's gonna walk towards me, so I'm gonna get a cute picture, but I kind of lost in the terms of determination, because that bird was not gonna stop. It was coming at me, so I had to back off, which is crazy. Yeah, but now we're going to the opening ceremony. I'm gonna film there. I'm gonna see a lot of people.
The president of the World Jigsaw Puzzle Federation.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so as I said, I always think I'm gonna film a lot of stuff, but that was actually the only clip I took from the opening ceremony. And then there was a lot of like other activities that you could choose from. I think there was dinner and stuff. We took the quiz. It was super fun, actually. I was impressed with that quiz. I mean, it took a long time. There was like a music and you needed to guess, and I think there was like a baby pictures of the Eva and Alfonso and all these fancy puzzle people we know part of the quiz, and we didn't win that one, but anyway, I met a lot of people already on the opening ceremony, so that was also super nice. I think it's easier for me to kind of like meet new people when it's not like the competition day. And anyway, then on the next day, my competition didn't start yet, but my puzzling started with the Guinness World Record attempt.
There is a book almost there in the...
Right, bit late with the filming, but kind of like recapping the day one, we had the Guinness World Record attempt. Obviously, we did not break the record. The US team did with amazing, it was 150 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Yes? Our time was double that, so nice try, A for an effort. And then I was commentating with Valerie, I guess it's a co-host, this thing is word. And that was amazing. There was no competition for me other than the Guinness on the first day, but next day there will be. I have to say that the commentating is always what I'm like most excited for. I was also last year, and Valerie asked me this time to come tell about my speed up program and other stuff, sports psychology. I think it's like also, you know, I did the mistake that I went to read what people are commenting on the live chat, and then of course you always see like, okay, people saying that I'm rude. I'm actually not even sure why people were saying I'm rude. Like, I'm obviously direct, but rude is kind of like next level, because that would mean that I'm rude to somebody, right? And then they were saying like I'm self-promoting too much, which I understand might be annoying, but also it was like that what we discussed with Valerie, and Valerie is doing an amazing job. And also I'm like, why don't you just support, like I don't say I have puzzle business, it's like hundreds of euros, it doesn't pay my mortgage or anything, but it's like, why people get so annoyed if somebody is promoting their like very small business or side hustle, especially if it's something that they actually love to do, and I guess somehow at least brings something to somebody in this puzzle community. So of course I'm gonna use the opportunity if somebody comes to ask me if I want to talk about it on a live stream. At least in Finland, we don't think that the only way to make money that can be respected is doing something you don't like from like 8 to 4. And then if you like to do something, you can only do it for free, if you know what I mean. Anyway, mistake to go there, but I just like to remind, because I think there's a lot of people who are asked to be in the commentator booth, to visit or be interviewed, and it can be really nerve-wracking, especially like if English is not your main language, and also like because there is always people on the chat like criticizing and stuff. And of course you can have your favorite like commentator, like I think everybody loves Valerie, you should. But if you want to like feel like, oh, Valerie is the best, you don't need to say it in a way like, oh, Valerie is the best because I didn't like the others. Like you can just compliment one person without putting other people down. And I'm also a bit afraid actually for this video, because last year I did the recap video. I think it's still my most watched video, and I got so rude comments. It's like people watching my video for 30 minutes just to comment that their ears are hurting and I'm so full of myself. Like why are you watching my videos then? Like you can exit. But it's really making me nervous because I know I will surely get those comments when I have a video that has a lot of views, and I know already I'm gonna get upset about them. But what can you do? Okay, let's move on with the first day that started with the individual round. And yeah, so already when I was commentating, I already saw the two first puzzles that came up on the first individual rounds were one of my predictions. So I was super happy about it. And then also in my round, I got a puzzle that I predicted. So I had done it a couple of times before. Yeah, that was amazing.
Nice.
And day 2, I qualified to the semifinals. I think I was 14th on my individual round with the puzzle that I predicted. So far I'm actually 3 out of 6 or 4 out of 6? 4 out of 6 with my predictions. I'm getting confused. Well, anyway, I got some right. Two of them went wrong. They were from this year, but I had excluded them because they were used in other nationals and stuff. So a couple went wrong, but now I'm on my way to the pairs classification, and I'll film some more after that, I guess.
Come on. Yeah.
I was so nervous already for the classification. Obviously at this point we already know I made it to the finals, all the way to the finals in all categories, but even the classification was like nerve-wracking to me. I remember I opened the puzzle. It wasn't just my hand shaking, my legs were shaking, and you know, because I usually lean on because I stand a little bit to the table, so I feel like the table was like going places. And then obviously I was like, I think I will be fine because I've done the puzzle a couple of times. But I don't know, I feel like sometimes Ravensburger, depending like what when was the puzzle coming from the factory, they have a little bit different cut even if it's the same image. So I don't know what was it, because with this puzzle, like there is this sentence here, racing in the history on the Straits of Monaco, and I done this twice, and I was like, every time I do get that sentence together quite easily. This time in the competition, I was like, I tried it like 3 times and I just could not get the sentence together. I don't know if I wasn't missing piece. I don't know, maybe I was too nervous. Maybe the cut was a bit different and it threw me off. But I was like getting so nervous because I have done this. I knew that if I don't get this sentence done, I will not be able to put the edges in because they're just completely white, and how I put them is by the shape. So I was like getting nervous that if I don't get this sentence done, I cannot get the edges in, and the time is ticking, and the applause is already started like a decade ago. But then I somehow pull it through, like after my 4th try or something. I got it together, I got the edges in, and then I just finished this one. I think my final time was maybe 52 minutes or something. The classification for pairs, also one of the puzzles that I predicted, which was this, and we came 3rd. That was amazing. I felt like I was nervous, but definitely I think it's always less nervous when you're with a pair or a team. I don't know if you can feel the same. But yeah, and also with my predictions, like as you know, if you watch my previous prediction video, I had 10. So there was 10 rounds if you calculate the classification rounds of pairs and individuals. So there's exactly was 10 rounds, and I predicted narrow it down to exactly to 10, because I don't want to predict like 20 puzzles and then the 10 will fit into it, and then I'm like, oh, I got everything right, even though I had like 10 extra predicted. So I'm happy I got 7 out of 10, and I said I heard a rumor that there were some shipping issues and not, for example, the Paris postcard was not supposed to be there, but I don't know for sure. But anyway, we had this puzzle in the pairs. These are the 10 that I predicted. This was on my classification round. This was in pairs. This did not come up. So wasn't this one. This was in pairs. This didn't come up. This was in pairs. This was in individual. This was in the individual. And then the ones I didn't get right were the Hello Vinyl, this anime puzzle that was used in the Danish championship, and also another from Swedish nationals was this one. And a lot of people ask me like, how did I do my predictions, like how, for example, I got the Monaco right. But quite frankly, so basically how I just narrow it down, originally I just took all the puzzles that were in the, so I looked what was used in the previous years and tried to find what's the word, I don't know. And I saw that, okay, everything that they used was, except one exception, was like from 2023, like the same year, like new puzzles. Not that they have been like remanufactured, but actually released on that year. So I took that as a rule. My second very specific rule was that needs to be in the catalog. And then I basically, how I narrowed down, I think I had like 20 puzzles. So I took off everything that has been used in the other nationals, thinking that that only makes sense that they won't do that. For example, the prize postcard I think has been used in like 3 nationals or something. So that's why these got excluded. I also excluded. And I also excluded like these special like challenge puzzles. And then there's like licensed puzzle, which I thought that maybe would have some like legal issues to bring there. So I took those out and I actually just ended up with these 10 and I was like, perfect, we have 10 rounds, it must be these 10. I know this is just a short explanation, but I wanted to tell it again because people ask me about it. So 7 out of 10. Let's hope next year they will actually have unpublished puzzles for everything because it only makes sense. It doesn't make sense you can even get 7 out of 10 correct just by looking at the data. So. Oh, and then in the pairs classification, I'm actually surprised I didn't get a warning. I screamed a really bad curse word in Finnish so loud that there was actually a couple of tables that turned their head to me because we had 2 pieces in the end. They were the same shape and we forced fitted them into the wrong holes. And you know when you really force something into a hole and you have to take it out, it rips off all the other pieces as well. And we were just looking at it like, no, they're in the wrong places. And nothing obviously happened and we finished 3rd, but it was like, you can, if you understand Finnish, you can like read my lips, you know what curse word I'm screaming on the video, so awkward. I will not do that again, okay? Okay, we're done here running away from the camera. I don't know where did I get stuck yesterday. Okay, I think we were going to the pairs classification. We actually finished 3rd. Which I wasn't sure for so long because the results take so long time to upload to the page, but that's what everybody kept saying. We were only 1 minute and some seconds behind the first spot, which was I think the OG champions, Teresa Marqueta. So that is crazy. But now I'm on my way to the individual semifinal. I am dying. I'm so nervous. We'll see how it goes. At least it's unpublished puzzle. Oh, and 7 out of 10 of my predictions were correct. That is pretty good considering I did them 4 months ago. And also there is a word on the street that there wasn't actually supposed to be the prize postcard, which wasn't one of my predictions. Because there were some shipping issues or something. So maybe I actually had even a little bit more prediction correct. But at least 7 out of 10, that's pretty good. And I think that's reason enough for next year to have only unpublished puzzles. Because we cannot be in a situation that people can predict the puzzles too easily. So yeah, but now off to the semifinals. Woo! Okay, obviously I cannot do 2 things at the same time. I tried. I flipped them. But the semifinals, thank God with unreleased puzzles. So I was in the semifinal that had this puzzle. I was super nervous. First of all, I didn't realize that this is actually like a vertical image. So of course I put it horizontal first, fixed that. I don't feel like I did some major stupid mistakes. Definitely some improvements I could have done with this. And I mean, it's crazy the level. Like last year, I think my time in semifinals was like 1 hour and 6. I don't know, maybe I'm lying. Maybe it was 1 hour and 4. But anyway, like this time my time was like 48 minutes and some seconds. And I was literally like 1.5 minutes away from not qualifying. So it's like crazy how much faster you can get and still like struggle to even have the same ranking or even qualify like you did last year, which I'm obviously happy about, but it was like so nerve-wracking. And then of course I think this year the country rule affected much more. I think they should have like calculated some scenarios how it's gonna affect So it was basically like, I think in my semifinal group, the last one to qualify with purely with their time was ranked 70. So basically 20 after that got by the country rule, which I think it's a lot. But I already knew that I was calculating it on the day before. I actually posted on my Instagram stories, but I got a lot of feedback that I'm creating a problem that doesn't exist there yet. But I knew I calculate this stuff. I don't just bring problems. Kind of like, I'm thinking this might be a problem. I knew already it's gonna be, so to say, a problem. So I just wanted to be prepared, that I'm aware, at least personally, that it's not enough to be in the top 90 that will qualify because of the country rule. But I think it was fair for people to tell me, to call out that maybe don't post this day before, because obviously I understand that a lot of people, their first time, don't need the pressure that you tell them that actually it's not enough if you qualify this much, you need to qualify this high if you want to get in, if there's multiple people from your country. And also I want to point out that when it comes to the country rule, this is obviously federation's rule issue. This is not like an issue of single person who benefit, for example, from the rule. So if we want to discuss the issue of that rule, we need to discuss about that rule and who makes the rule, which is the federation, and not like single out people who for some reason benefited from that rule. Like that is not fair. Like nobody's cheating, nobody's trying to beat the game. We have rules from the federation and we play by them, and that's it. So if you want to discuss the country rule, please discuss about the country rule and not like bring out like, oh, this person here with this nationality. That's not fair. So let's not do that. Anyway, Paris semifinal, we had this puzzle. This is a funny thing. So you see this image over here? That is not the same as it is in the puzzle. I'll try to add a picture here. But it's a different picture in the actual puzzle. So I was very confused. I couldn't get it together. I was like, where is this thing? I don't see it in the image. We didn't do that well in the semifinal with my pair, but it was fine. Also, for some reason, I didn't realize, because we always do that, my pair does the puzzle upside down. But there's so much text in this puzzle. I didn't realize at any point, we're not really good at communicating, to be honest, that obviously text is something you cannot do upside down. It just doesn't work. I don't know why we didn't like realize it in the moment. And anyway, I was also super happy. So this is what I got from SJ. Thank you. This is from the other individual semifinal. And also my teammate Hanna got this from somebody. Who got this to me? I don't know. I don't know who to thank. But this is also from somebody else who got this for me. From the other semifinal of the pairs. I'm actually gonna do this in a separate video, maybe next week, just to see how I would have qualified on the other round. I'm always interested. I'm already lost in a day, so I don't know what was my vibes video from yesterday. Did I already do the individual semifinal? And maybe I was on my way to the pairs semifinal, or other way around. I don't know. Anyway, I did qualify from the individual semifinals. The results came very late last night. Also the pairs we qualified. We didn't do that well in the pairs as we did on the classification round, but it was fine. There was error in the image. So in the reference image, there's a different image on the side of it that it's actually in the puzzle. I'll show you that. And then individual final, basically if you wanted to qualify with your time, you had to get under 50. So I made it, touch and go, crazy level. I knew the country rule is gonna cut a lot this year, so it wasn't enough to make it to the top 90. You had to make it like, if you think it before it happened, you had to be, if you wanted to be 100% sure to make it top 50, to be somehow maybe sure to top 60, and after that you're just completely in the danger zone. Yeah, but I did qualify, and now I'm on my way to the teams, and then to all the finals later. Yeah. Daniel.
Bye.
And then there's like the crazy hard day when you have this teams classification, pairs final, and then individual final. Like that day just completely killed me. After that, I was like, I'm done. But yeah, let's talk about those. Let's talk about the teams first. And I know actually I did not film anymore my vibes after this day, so I could just spill the beans. Let's start with the teams. I've been saying that I wanted to aim for the podium. I think I did lower my goal, realistically speaking, a little bit to the top 10, and I was like really going for it. And yeah, obviously we did qualify for the final, but we did not make it to the top 10. I think we were 14th, 2 minutes away from the top 10, which makes it like really annoying, because when you don't reach your goal, you want to lose like with the huge time difference, so you can be like, okay, there was nothing I could have done to beat those people, but 2 minutes, it's like, yeah, damn. So yeah, I feel like a lot of people do that, myself included, obviously here. I've said this on my previous videos, I feel like our biggest problem was, like, I was aware that we have a little bit endurance, durability issue. We kind of skipped the practices I had planned already, like in March, that we're gonna do also like bigger puzzles, like at least like 1,500 piece or even 2,000 piece, and at least like practice a lot of doing a puzzle after another, and we haven't really done that. And I was aware that when we do harder puzzles we run out of energy, so it's like annoying. I knew it was a problem, and then I was maybe hoping in my mind it's not, but obviously that is what I feel like got us out of the top 10, and I feel like it would have been such a easy fix. Like I was honestly surprised in the competition, like, oh, we don't actually have the energy to, for example, do just 2 puzzles in a row. And I'm kind of upset about it, quite honest. And also one tiny other issue that we could have been better is like, we didn't really practice with using sorters. And I'm not saying like it's a big problem that we didn't use it, but it's like if you haven't done something before, then you don't actually know what problems it may cause. So it was in a competition, and I realized a lot of times that we put our sorters on top of our other pieces, and then we cannot see the pieces. Like if we would have just practiced that beforehand using the sorters, we would have realized that, oh, by the way, we by accident do this a lot, and try to avoid it. But when you realize it in the competition mode, that we keep putting the sorters on top of our pieces, there's like nothing you can do at that point anymore. So yeah, like those 2 little things alone, like just being able to do 2 puzzles in a row and like use the sorters better, like so easy to get that 2 minutes, so like so easy. So just like very upsetting to me. I really wanted to bring those cute little cubes home, but at least I got to see SJ's cube. I took a picture of it. And then in pairs, by the way, I love the pairs puzzle. I don't have it, my pair has it. The Valladolid puzzle, super cute puzzle, by the way. Yeah, I have heard a rumor that the artist already revealed in Patreon or something it's called, earlier that her puzzle is going to be in the competition. And also I do have to say, also half of the unreleased puzzles used in the semifinals and stuff were actually available for pre-sales in Amazon like 2 weeks ago. So I don't know how did that accident happen, but obviously secret, not well kept. I think there were some other people who also, when they saw those puzzles in the live stream, being like, wait a second, I've seen that puzzle already. So yeah, that is true, because they were open for pre-sales already in Amazon. I don't know how did that happen. And of course, I also know there were some technical issues and some puzzles showed on the Federation's website before the round has started. But that mistake I can understand. That happens very easily if you're just testing out, like dummy testing, or trying to do stuff in advance and you don't realize it actually went public. I can understand that by, working for marketing. It's like sending those newsletters by accident sometimes. But that I don't know how the unreleased puzzles turn out to be 2 weeks early in Amazon. Like that sounds like just a stupid mistake. But anyway, yeah, really loved the pairs final puzzle. We came 40, I think, which is a bit sad because last year we were 26th. So I was kind of like hoping to beat the last year's ranking. And then the individual final, I was really hoping for some kind of like an illustration, like something special. But once again, we got a puzzle that has like nothing special. Actually, where is the puzzle? Where is the puzzle? I mean, it's a very nice puzzle, honestly, but there's nothing special on it. Like, I think a lot of people have seen millions of tiger puzzles. Like tigers, a little bit of scenery, bushes. It's kind of like, I mean, it's a puzzle, but I was really hoping for something different. I was 115th, which is also worse than my ranking last year, which was 82nd, I think. So yeah, that's a bit kind of like super sad, but it was like crazy. Like if you look at the results page, it's every 2 seconds somebody's finishing. So in 1 minute there can be like 30 finishes. So it's like it's crazy. It's like you've been a couple minutes faster, you would have been like in top 50 or something. But yeah, and also my winner predictions, I got 4 out of 5. Yeah. And I told you, the good thing why Kristen wins is because you can give her any puzzle and she will do it. So I got Kristen right. She's the winner, congrats. And then we also have Christian from Poland. We have Kati that I mentioned. And then I said we will have one surprise, which to me was Veronica. I haven't heard about her before. If that's my mistake and I should have heard about her before, then obviously my mistake. But that was kind of like the surprise that I said that I'm sure we will see in top 5. The only one that so the 5th on my top 5 was actually Victor. I don't want to single him out too much. I've discussed with him in the dome and stuff. I think he's cool with this. He knew he was in my top 5 predictions. So he wasn't there. A lot of people ask me why I didn't have Alejandro in my top 5, but I was right. I don't think I, once again, need to single anybody out and go analyzing a single person why he wasn't in my predictions. He wasn't, and that was also the end case. If somebody ever disagrees and be like, why I'm not in your predictions, then just prove me wrong. It's just that. But anyway, yeah, I got also my winner predictions, 4 out of 5. And then I didn't even remember I did this prediction, but when I started the Speed Up program back in May, somebody asked me to do like predictions of what times do you need to qualify from each round. So I actually had done that also already in May. And I actually got those ones right as well. So I had like put like, okay, if you want to qualify from to the semi-final or to the final, you need at least like this kind of average time. Or if you want to be in top 50 in the final, you need that kind of time. So obviously I got that one right as well. And also, by the way, the teams puzzle, because with my prediction videos, I was talking just about the these things. classification of pairs and individual, but I also did have like a team's predictions that went quite well, but it was more like an open list, so it had more predictions than there were rounds or like puzzles that will be used. But all of those puzzles that were used were actually on my list, but there was like more, so it wasn't exactly like a hit list that it has the exact same amount of puzzles. So yeah, good job me. Yeah, but yeah, I was so dead after that to finals and teams classification day, like completely out of it at that point. I could just not, like, you know, because I'm standing, so it was like I've been practicing standing, so it's not that bad. I've been doing multiple puzzles after one another, but I feel like that was just too much. And you know, when your back kind of breaks, that it goes over that specific line, there's no going back. I remember I was laying in the bed and I was like even laying down on the bed like hurt so bad, like I don't know what to do with my life. And then we also were invited to the dinner, some association federation people, at 10 p.m. I'm like, we eat dinner in Finland like at 5 p.m. And then there was the team's final then on the next morning. I was so tired. And I feel like at that point I was like, I don't want to see anyone, I don't want to talk to anyone, I don't want to hear word puzzle. I was like completely out of it. I think I did socially better this year, but like it was just a lot. And then we bought this beautiful souvenir for Willy boy, or a dog, Halloween stuff. Yeah. That was super important. And Prim was going around, of course, the red panda. I don't know even well. No, I hope Prim found home as well. I don't know where is it. Everybody keeps asking me if Prim is she or he, but here's the deal. In Finnish language, we don't have like a third person pronoun for different genders. It's like just one word. Like in English, when you say you only have you. Like it doesn't have a gender in like baked into that word. So every time everybody asks me is it she or he, and I'm like, well, in Finnish it's just hän, and like it doesn't refer to any genders. I've never thought about it. But yeah. Anyway, I did not do this. I will do this on my own. I don't know why I was thinking that I can talk and do a puzzle at the same time, but this was the best gift from Alice, the US champion. Amazing. Future star, just telling you. And what else? Okay, I have to say, I feel like the event itself was organized better this year, especially considering how it was like double the participants. We had toilet paper this year. Woo-hoo! And then also I like that there was this quiz and like all this, a little bit more stuff. Last year we only had a tour that you could participate to. The Guinness was more organized. But yeah, I would love to hear about your opinion about the event if you were there, or if you were watching the live streams or whatsoever. Excited about the next year. I actually am about to just the schedule for the speed up. Oh, I wanted to say something about speed up because first of all, I don't know why I thought I could coordinate taking a speed up group photo with like 40 people that were participating in the worlds from my program. Yeah, you cannot coordinate with 40 people everybody has a different schedule. But I was so proud because so many speed uppers, I think like over 90% qualified from the classification rounds. There was 20% who got like their own table for the semifinals, meaning that they were in top 8. Yeah, it was just amazing to see people, and this is not even about my coaching, like they have done all the work, but it was just amazing to see how far they have come because I've like followed up like, you know, when they joined and I see like what's their goals and what is like their starting point, and everybody has come so far, and it was so exciting, and also to actually see people face to face and everything. Anyway, our next speed up session is going to be soon. We're going to talk about this kind of like an off season and how to plan your year. So like if you're an athlete, let's say track and field or something, you don't practice, you practice strength on a different season and different kind of stuff that you need to do, so it comes all together. And now this doesn't make sense. There is a word for it, I have to put it there because I'll keep getting the English word for it, but it's used in sports. And then also a lot of inquiries about the private coaching. I'm answering those this week. I'm so happy that people are interested in the sports. It's growing and I can bring some of my own knowledge into it. Yeah, it's just so fun to see the sports grow and everybody else like Sarah Schuler doing the events in US and like a lot of people like Michelle doing the World Jigsaw Champs through her shop and like a lot of things, my speed puzzling like Jan and Simona doing that. It's like so amazing what everybody's like doing for the community and for the sport. But anyway, I'm gonna talk forever. If you let me, I don't want to do that. So yeah, if you have any questions, I'm still about the world. As said, I will do this in the next video, so I can also answer maybe a lot more questions if you have any on that one, so this won't last forever. But anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Epic. I heard flipping sounds.
Yep.
Daniel has a new Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah.
Puzzle
It's
moves.
It's a secret. It's still not public. When I will beat Kristen, it will be public.
Next year. Yeah.